now that I've talked about all that. As far as breastfeeding, Jax has been exclusively breastfed for the last 10 months. We are still breastfeeding. I'm considering supplementing soon, just because I don't pump anymore, and I'm not gonna force myself to. I mean, I might, but so we might start doing that soon. Initially, like, Jax latched on great. My milk supply came in nicely after colostrum. I just had, my breasts were very engorged, and that was really painful. But once I got over that, I was okay. Lanolin was my best friend. Ice packs were my best friend. Warm showers, hot showers, compress. It was a lot. Just having that pain and like C-section pain together, it was like, oh my God. And then my nipples were so tender too from getting used to him latching. So after like that first 2 weeks, it's okay. But at like initial 2-week period where everything is so sensitive, it's like when he would latch on, I would just be like, like just like trying to get through it. And then you know, I was okay. I used the Medela app, like that first month or so, just to like keep up with his feedings and his diapers and things like that. Because like I could remember, but I liked to write it down just to make sure, and write down what side he ate on last and different things like that. So that's a good tool. Breastfeeding for me has been up and down, because while it is something that I have wanted to do, it's very draining. Jax is all over the place, y'all. He's walking, he's crawling, he's talking. Jax! He's like, it was an up and down. It's been up and down for me, because while it is something that I'm very invested in and want to do, it's also very draining, both mentally and physically. Jax is very attached to me, and I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm talking about you. Jax will wake up and he only wants me, or if he is tired, he only wants me, or there's times where he just doesn't want anyone except his mom, or he's at the point now where he can pull my shirt down and expose me easily. Like this, it's very demanding, and it can be very draining. So it is something that you also have to take, you know, one step at a time, and embrace it if it's something that you are interested in doing. But if you feel like you ever get to a point where you want to stop, like, that's okay, because I felt like that plenty of times, or it just felt like it was a job, like I'm working, and I was expecting to have like this amazing like sunshines and rainbows like experience every time I nursed him, because I would read stuff like that from people. But everybody's experience is different, and like, while yes, I enjoy it, there have been times where I'm just like, I don't want to do this, or I'm just really tired, or it's just been really draining. But overall, our breastfeeding experience has been great, and I'm really happy that we've been able to do it this long. He bites sometimes. It's funny to him, but it's not funny to me. I might laugh, but you know, that's just one thing that I've had to deal with too, with him having teeth and things. I still leak occasionally. I used to leak a lot at the beginning, and I would like literally soak a nursing pad. You know, it gets better as you go. All of that doesn't last forever for everyone. Everybody's experience is completely different. Like, everything I'm sharing might not be the same for a lot of you. So, you know, it's different for everyone. I don't know when we're gonna stop. I would like to wean him, but at the same time, I kind of want him to just do his own thing. I think we'll both get to a point where we know, like, okay, this is it. I think he's gonna become uninterested eventually, or I will, but we'll see how it goes. As of now, we're just winging it. Cluster feeding is okay. Babies do that sometimes. I thought something was wrong with him. I thought I was supposed to stick to the 2 to 3 hour feeding things. Like, all babies are different. They're gonna eat when they want to eat. You're gonna know when your baby's hungry. Like, it's okay for that stuff to happen. Having a good diet is important, but it's not so important that you have to like be so like really strict on yourself. I would eat like a lot of oatmeal and smoothies and salads and things in the beginning, and try to like hit all the food groups and make sure I was getting protein and fruits and veggies and stuff like that. And now I kind of just I eat regularly. I just did that initially because I wanted to just make sure he was getting the best and I was getting the best, and we were just, you know, nice and nourished. I've tried things like lactation cookies and lactation drinks when I felt like I wanted to start pumping again and like I couldn't pump enough. Store up while you can if that's something you're interested in doing. Don't feel like you have to have a freezer full of breast milk. I feel like that's a common misconception because sometimes that works for people who might be always on the go and things like that. Might work for you, it might not. I did have a pretty good supply stored in the freezer initially, and then once I slowed down pumping, that kind of like slowly stopped. It's pretty easy for me to feed him on demand, and so I don't always need to have milk stored up. But if I want him to go to his grandparents' house, or if I want to run out and, you know, something like that, that became an issue because I didn't have any milk here. So that was the only thing about not always having milk stored. It was like very limiting. Another thing about breastfeeding and working from home, because I'm always around, to Jax, I'm always available. So I'll be working and he'll come up to my desk and instantly want to nurse, or he'll nurse and 20 or 30 minutes will go by and he'll want to nurse again. If I'm not around, he can go 4 to 6 hours now at this point without nursing. So there's a lot of things that come with breastfeeding that I wasn't aware of. But all in all, it's been a really good experience. Other postpartum changes, I didn't have any postpartum shedding until like 3 months, which is typically like when it starts. And it hasn't stopped, unfortunately. I don't know if y'all can see, my edges are super thin. Anytime I brush or comb my hair, like it just sheds really bad. So that was one thing that kind of bothered me a little bit. Adjusting to his sleeping schedule. It wasn't as bad as people make it seem. One thing I've learned in motherhood and being a parent, anything really in life, is that people will tell you things from their experience. So just like I'm sharing all of this stuff with you all, y'all might not experience the same thing that I do. I feel like every time someone tells you about babies, it's like, you're gonna lose so much sleep and you're gonna be so tired and this and that, and come here, Pumpkin. That's not always the case for everyone. All babies are different. Like, everything is different from everyone's point of view. So that's definitely one thing I've learned. Like, while yes, we were tired, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I never felt crazed and sleep deprived, but there were some nights where Jax just didn't want to be put down, or, you know, he just didn't want to sleep, or, you know, I was tired the next day, or people say like, you nap when the baby naps, but sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes you don't want to take a nap. Sometimes you want to get something done because the baby is taking a nap. Like, so everything is what you want to do and what you make it. Okay, that's what I learned. Motherhood hack. Do you, boo? Do your thing. It's about what you want to do. Okay. I started working out when I was like 10 weeks postpartum. I didn't start initially after I got clear because I was still kind of scared to do it. But I did start at like 10 weeks out, and I got lazy. I didn't stay consistent. I wasn't eating clean all the time. Like, that was kind of just one of those things where I like really wanted to do it, but I was also like, you know what? It is what it is. And I feel like a lot of women think, or it's a common misconception, that after you have a baby, like everything's just gonna snap back, and that's not it. Even people that are really fit don't just go back. Like, you just carried a human being and you birthed that human being, and now your body needs time to recover, and that's okay. And I told myself that from the beginning, and I feel like I told myself that in the process afterwards, and even still now. And even when people tell me like, oh, you look so good, and wow, what baby, and like, I take the compliment and it's very humbling, but at the same time it makes me uncomfortable, because like, you just don't know how people feel about their bodies, or even if you feel like they look great and like, oh, they snap back, they might not feel like that, you know? So that's just one of those things that I learned to deal with too, because I did work to get my baby weight off, or I met a goal, or I didn't meet a goal, or people thought I looked good and I didn't think that I looked good, just like different things like that. But I did get back down to where I wanted to be for our wedding, and then after that I was like, forget this, I don't care. So I've still gotta do some work to get back in shape again. But yeah, snapback culture is toxic. And women should not think that after they have a baby, they have to immediately get back to a certain size, because you just did all of that. Like, it's okay. I try not to talk about things like that just because I've experienced it now. I don't think I would say that to another mom, you know. Okay, so I think that's enough about me. I'm gonna talk about Jack some. So I've already said a bunch of times, he's 10 months old. He's about 25 pounds. He doesn't go back to the doctor again until his 1 year checkup. He is about 2.5 feet tall. He started eating solids around like 5 months. His doctor told us that was fine, so we started then because of, you know, he was where he needed to be weight-wise and everything. He's actually been above percentile. He's a big boy. He started walking at like 9.5 months. Right before Christmas, he started taking some steps, and then like right after Christmas, he was like full-fledged walking. He started crawling when he was 6 months. He said his first word when he was like 5 months, 6 months. Jax is he's moving fast, and everybody keeps saying, oh, he's getting out the way for the next one. And I'm like, no, he's not. We've tried to introduce him to a lot of different things since he started solids, just to expose him to a lot, develop his palate, like just give him a lot of different flavors and tastes and things within his own limit. I've always tried to stick to the guidelines for what he's supposed to eat and things for his age, and based on if he has teeth or not and things. I've tried to do some cooking at home, like prepping pasta meals. We try to stick to organic as much as we can. Of course, that doesn't always happen, but you know, he has a lot of personality. He makes us laugh. He's very funny. I don't know. I just can't believe that I birthed this little human being. Everything happened so fast. Like, I don't understand how 10 months has gone by. I just can't believe he's almost 1 already. Motherhood overall has been wonderful. I'm not gonna cry on this video right now. I am amazed, honestly, at the last year of my life. Just being pregnant and having a baby and being a mother and now a wife and just everything. It's amazing. It's challenging. It's stressful. It's fun. It's everything that you allow it to be and everything that you make it. Because it's my first time here, I'm not gonna act like I know everything about being a mom, because it's different for everyone. I just know, you know, what has worked for me, and you know, how I want to get better and how I want to continue to be a good mom. Jax is my little tiny best friend. Me and Steven look at him in awe all the time. We just can't believe that we have a baby. Like, it's crazy. We have a whole baby. Like, right now, because he's a baby, like, we are his advocates. We're always going to be his advocates, but like, we're the only people that know his cries specifically and know what he wants without him saying it, because he can't say it. And so just like learning things like that, like literally learning a person from scratch and being able to know them from their very beginning has just been mind-blowing. Just to like watch him grow up, and then like learning about myself too in the process, becoming someone completely different. And that is something that I've enjoyed and hated in this first year of motherhood, and I'm really looking forward to, you know, more. Wish I didn't have to experience my first year as a mom in quarantine, but if we wouldn't have been in quarantine, I would have had to go back to work. I wouldn't have been able to work from home. I wouldn't have been able to stay here with Jax for 10 months. I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I wouldn't have been able to have all of this family time. So while quarantine and COVID has been a mess, it's also been like a blessing in disguise for us. I've enjoyed like sharing this experience with you guys from my pregnancy to now, and you know, I want to put more out there. So please let me know what you guys want to see from me, whether it's Jax, whether it's me and Jax, me, Steven, and Jax, talking about motherhood, talking about baby. I'd love to hear what kind of content you guys want to see going forward. I know we need to do like an update and tell you guys what's been going on with life and wedding planning during COVID and like all of that. Like, there's so much to share. We've been away for so long. But I'm happy that we're back. And we're going to keep doing videos, I hope. And just try to get better and be more consistent on here. Yeah. Let's see if we can get him to come back and say bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Blow kisses. Mwah. Oh, so nice. Bye-bye.